Hey everyone, long overdue for an update. So just thought I'd make a quick one to show you what I've been doing on the layout. I've accomplished a few things, didn't get as far as I would like to before I made the video. I thought I'd quit dragging my feet and go ahead and make one, show you what I've done so far. I put in the intermodal yard. I have my track complete all the way around. Since the last video, the configuration has been changed a little bit. If you remember, the main line went down inside of the yard. I have another track that goes around the outside of the yard. I will show you that in a few minutes. I have a CTC board on the opposite side of the layout now. Again, if you're new and ask why did I do that, because I have DC and DCC trains. I have more DC than digital command control trains, so I want to be able to run them. It's going to take a while for me to convert everything, or at least the ones that I decide that I want to convert. So let me turn this around so you can see what I've done. So here's the intermodal yard. Now it still needs some work done. I finally found a concrete paint that I was a little happy with. I went through a couple different ones. This here is Woodland Scenic concrete. This stuff here. And what I'm going to do is take my airbrush and put some scuffs on it and things like that, tire marks, to kind of show where the trucks have been running in and out of here. And see, I have some K-rails. I got a bunch of them. I will line up through here and make it look like it's been worn. I do have a my jack that I'm still assembling, and it'll be out there. And you'll see that one in the next video. So I'll be putting ground foam out here and putting some older ballasts around the yard track. This track around here is the one I talked about that I added, because before it was just this one that the Indiana Railroad is sitting on. The white engines are sitting on, and it kind of went down through the yard. Let me back this up. Went down through the yard. So I have a Y configuration back there, so I can bring a train down through the intermodal yard, as you can see down on that end, and then there's a stub track on this side, only because I didn't have enough room to run that one through also. Had to really cut back on things since this room is not as big as the old layout. The actual intermodal yard actually takes up a lot of space as this layout is made, but I kind of like the intermodal stuff, so I'm okay with it. Of course, this is the older part of the layout. I still haven't added scenery here to my lift out, but I did paint the styrofoam so it's not looking all bright and white. And the other part that you should be familiar with. I'm going to run a train around here in a minute. One other thing before I forget, let me turn this around. I did make a short video to show how I did this. I'm going to zoom in. This is actually balsa wood. It is not plaster like I used on the other side for my street running. This is balsa wood. Why did I use balsa wood? Well, this area here is able to lift up. This is a interior door that section is made on. And I made this way so that I could lift it to do any wiring underneath it, and put it back down. And at some point, hopefully I get some more space, I'll be able to move this. I didn't want to take the chance of plaster popping or cracking, so I did it in an old way that I made a intermodal yard like I did when I was in a club, and I used balsa wood. Later on in the video, if you want to see it, there's a short segment showing how I made this. I don't have measurements or anything. What I did is I kind of eyed it up, went to the hobby shop and looked at pieces that I thought would fit. Anyway, you'll see it on the short section of the video. I'm going to go ahead and start this Indiana Railroad, the white engines, and run it around. Hopefully I don't have any derailments or anything, because I cleaned the wheels on these just before I made this video, and this will be the third time it's gone around this track, so hopefully we don't have any hiccups. Here we go. Kind of took off out of there like a dragster, didn't I? Back this up. Goes through the tunnel. So far, so good. It's going around the outer part. I threw the switch down there, so it's going to come all the way around this time. And what I plan on doing, the little building there is going to be my Amtrak station. Later on there'll be a backdrop put up, give it some depth around here, but that's what's going on in the life of the Hadway layout number 2, and hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I like all critiques. I appreciate everybody looking at my videos. Again, let me know what you think of them. Not to keep repeating myself, that's what's going on in Life of the Layout. Let me know what you think. And again, there will be a short video showing how I put together the intermodal yard using balsa wood. See you guys the next time around. Hey, I thought I would do this short segment on how I did this here, balsa wood, laying it down for my intermodal yard. Some might ask, why did you do it that way, or how did you get that? So I thought I'd try to answer those questions real quick. The why, if you notice on other videos, my street running, I did that in plaster. I used to be in a club when I used to live in Terre Haute, and on the module, I was afraid when you lift it and move it around, you could bang it and be chipping plaster and all that. So on my old intermodal yard that I had on my modules for the club, I made them out of balsa wood. Excuse me. It's pretty simple to do, and on the module the runs were straight. On this one here, as you can see, I have a curve in it, so I had to do a few different things. I actually used a wood putty to fill in a few spots that I couldn't get as tight. So I actually used that on here, and then I had to sand it down. But if you have straight runs, the balsa wood's in pieces that you can just run it on down there and you won't have to do the plaster thing like I did. So if you're using Unitrack like I am, or if you're using just Atlas Straight Track or Flex Track or what have you, it'll work. What I did is I went to the hobby shop and I found some 1/4 inch pieces of balsa wood. And how I knew this would work is I just eyed it up. This is about 1/4 inch thick, and I just laid it down next to my track. I don't know if I guess I got that close enough. Zoom in just a little bit. I laid it down and I just looked across it, and you can see that the top of the rail is higher than the balsa wood. So then what you do is move it back a little bit, and I have these angled pieces of balsa wood, and I put them in here like this, and just to get it up even with the track, like so. Then, now don't ask me the measurements because I haven't a clue. What I did is I went to the hobby shop and I grabbed some of this balsa wood and I put it down between a piece of Flex Track, and it fits like so. And the thing that's neat about it also is it fits down between the rail spikes, so you know you're going to have clearance on both sides of this for your flanges to go down through there. As you can see the rails. Now if it's slightly taller than your rails, you can take a fine piece of sandpaper and just sand it down, and it works really well. And you can do this for Flex Track also, Atlas Flex Track. Just use a thinner piece of balsa wood. It works the same way. Just put it up against there like that, get you some angled balsa wood, and this piece will fit down in there also. Works really slick. I really like the way this turned out. Again, this piece of my layout is an interior door, and my layout is set up so that if I need to lift this to get underneath it, I can, for that reason. And also hopefully I get some more space and I can expand. I can still pick this up and not worry about busting up plaster. This is why I use the balsa wood. I think it looks pretty cool. I bought some aged concrete paint and I'll be painting it, and if it's not on this next segment of my updates for the layout, it'll be on there soon and you'll get to see how it looks. But I ran trains down through here and it looks really good. There's no dragging of the fuel tanks or any parts of the rail cars, so it works really well. So hopefully that helps somebody out. Maybe you can do this, you know, in the future or something, or tell a friend about it, but it works pretty well. Again, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Works really well. I had to sand this, like I said, because I used that wood putty, but normally you won't have to. One thing about balsa wood, you might help to get a sealer. I think I got that from RC plane guys that use balsa wood for their planes. You might need to seal it so that you don't get your wood grain showing up. You don't want that. You want it to look like concrete. So hope that helps you out.